नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिम अला सय्यदना व मौलाना व हबीबना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन फल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us with another day in the blessed month of Rajab, and we still have time to ask Him for forgiveness before this blessed month is over and we enter the beautiful and the blessed and the holy and the sacred month of Sha'ban. So make the most of it. Do a lot of zikr, do a lot of nawafil, try and keep as many fasts as you possibly can, and most importantly, ask for forgiveness. Keep asking for forgiveness, keep begging for forgiveness, keep beseeching for forgiveness, keep lamenting about forgiveness, keep asking and begging and requesting Allah to forgive you through the wasila of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Inshallah, may Allah forgive us all in this blessed month of Rajab al-Murajab, and may Allah accept all our du'as and make all our wishes and dreams come true more than what we've imagined or asked for. Ameen, Ameen, Summa Ameen. With that having said, inshallah, today I would like to discuss a small topic, which is basically having fantasies about men or women that are haram for you. Inshallah, this week's topic on Monday for our English lecture, the weekly class that we hold, Spiritual Nuggets, is going to be about marriage. It's aptly titled For Better or For Worse. Inshallah, we'll be discussing a lot of marital issues in it. We'll be discussing what the Quran and the Hadith say, how marriages are affected, what are the things that affect them, etc., etc. So inshallah, it's going to be a wonderful lecture. And obviously, because Umme Sara Academy is dedicated to ensuring that we learn something new every time we, have a new course or a new lecture or a new speech, because at the end of the day, we are all Muslims, we're all human beings, and we should be always on the learning curve, and we are always here to propagate good teachings, good deeds, and this would be considered as a sadaqah jariyah if you like, share and subscribe to our channel and ensure that the good word is passed around. Back to the topic. A lot of women come to me and they say that our husbands are not happy with us, or our husbands are always on the phone. They're either chatting with other girls, or girls send naked or pictures, dirty pictures, abhorrent pictures of themselves to our husbands, and our husbands look at them, and when we ask them or when we catch them in the act, they turn around and they say that we're just looking or imagining and we're not doing zina. First of all, let me clear up this concept once and for all. Zina is not necessarily just the physical act of having a physical intercourse with somebody that is haram for you, but zina also constitutes with what you look with your eyes, what you hear with your ears, what you say with your tongue, and what you feel in your heart. Okay? Now, when I talk about heart, for example, if a thought just comes to your mind, for example, you're walking on the road, you see someone who's beautiful, and Astaghfirullah, shaitan, trips you, and you end up having a bad thought, but immediately you will do Astaghfaar, then that is something that is human nature and Allah forgives it. But if you dwell on that particular thought, and if you keep on fantasizing about that girl or that boy, okay, this lesson is for not only the men, but it's also for the women, because a lot of women have also resorted to this, that they end up chatting. A lot of other issues have highlighted because of this, that women are so busy on the mobiles chatting, and they claim their husbands don't give them time or attention. Husbands claim that the wives don't give them time or attention. Now, first let me clarify the concept of zina. So if a man or a woman thinks about another man or a woman, be it a presenter on TV, be it another family relative, be it a family friend, be it whomever, be it the stranger on the road, be it the cashier at the cash counter, be it the teller at the bank, whoever it is, right? And if you fantasize about them and you either commit fornication or you either have sex with your spouse, at that time all of this comes under zina, because you are technically having sex whilst thinking about this other person, and this is haram and this is zina. Okay, number one, chatting with another girl or guy on the phone or on a call and saying we don't know who they are and we never planned to go and do physically anything with them is still wrong, because you are doing something immoral, you are doing something haram, and shaitan, haram leads to haram. These are the small things. When I say small, they're not necessarily small, but when I say small, meaning these are the things that will lead to bigger things like adultery and fornication. So stay away from it. You are cheating your wife, you are cheating your husband when you are doing all of these things on the sly. Just because you think that you are doing it under the covers in the middle of the night in a dark room and nobody around you knows about it, it doesn't make a squat of a difference, because at the end of the day, Allah is the one who's going to judge us. Angels are the ones who are writing down our deeds 24/7, 365 days a year. And your deeds are not going unnoticed. Today, what you're doing behind the room, you so-called respectable men and women, okay? If you are sitting alone in your room and you're chatting with a guy or you're chatting with a man, okay, theek hai, you turn around and tell yourself, and you give yourself the solace that, you know what, I'm doing this because my husband is very, very bad to me, or I'm doing this because, you know what, my wife does not make me happy. Listen to me. Your wife's not going to be in your grave when you're being questioned. Try saying that to the angels of death, like, listen man, I did this because my wife was not a good human being. Like, dude, if your wife was not a good human being, then either leave her or say Astaghfaar and ask Allah to make her better for you, or do patience and wait to be rewarded till you die, after you die, and wait till your Jannat. And the same goes for women. If your husband is not good enough for you, then either leave him or do Astaghfaar and ask Allah for guidance and hidayat. But doing or committing fornication or adultery on the side is not the answer to all of these questions. Okay, before I move on, I'm not propagating separation or divorce, but what I'm saying is that don't turn around and make these lame excuses that I did this because my husband's not good, or I did that because my wife is not good. You're going to go in your own grave. You're the one who's going to be answerable. Your husband or wife are not going to be standing there and saying, oh, like I was a bad person, and you know what, that's the reason that my wife or my husband ended up doing this thing. It doesn't work that way. So make sure that your deeds are up to par with what you're expecting in the afterlife. And even these Instagram, Facebook, all of these things, I mean, okay, we are Umme Sara Academy, an Islamic online academy. We have our Facebook status mentioned as such. And our Facebook page is handled by by the rest of my team members and the backend team as well. Despite the fact that it's mentioned that it is an academy, and that also a religious, spiritual, holistic academy, despite that, there are people who send disgusting and filthy messages. I mean, seriously, you don't understand what it means to be religious, Islamic, and the fact that it's actually not even a personal email or a Facebook ID, but it is actually handled by a team of people. Some of them are men or some of them are women. This is not the way to do it. This is not Islamic. This is not religious. So just a brief update that when you post your pictures online, or you feel that you're looking nice and that you're posting something online, and you're sharing it with the world, there might be a person sitting in some corner of the world and ends up having a fantasy about you, and he does something that is haram. Well, guess what? The blame is on you, on him obviously, for doing that, but the blame is also on you. Why? Because you are the one who is putting it out there and inviting the devil in. And the same goes for the men. I mean, I don't know why, but Islam, sometimes the Muslim men tend to forget that the parda, haya, all of this is mentioned in Islam for both the men and the women. Parda and haya is not only mentioned for the women. Here when I say parda, obviously it doesn't mean that you have to wear a huge cloak or a burqa, but yes, you do have to cover your parts as well. You just can't roam around, with your legs or with your thighs showing, with your underarms or with your biceps and everything, and posting pictures of your six-pack and all that. Or constantly, okay, even the so-called Muslims, the hardcore Muslims, who claim to be very religious, they keep on putting up pictures on their profiles with different poses, sitting in a restaurant, sitting in the lobby, sitting in the car, sitting on the sofa. Like, why are you either? See, what happens is that you tend to make other people feel less about themselves by showing that, listen, I've got so much of wealth, which is again wrong in Islam. Or you tend to attract females who are not so well off, and they think, okay, fine, this guy is there and he's available and he's free, so maybe, because poverty makes people do a lot of bad stuff. So this message is not only for the women, but it's also for the men equally, to ensure that your parda is there. You have your shame, your modesty, which is still there. You should practice it, not just preach about it. So this is my message, and inshallah the upcoming class on Monday is going to be about the issues that happen in a married life and what is marriage really all about, and if it's really important. Because nowadays people don't place any importance in marriage because of the high number of divorce cases, because of the high number of infidelities, etc. So inshallah we're going to be discussing a lot, and this class is only for the women and girls above the ages of 14 years old. And if any of you haven't registered, then do so on our official WhatsApp number. And remember that zina is zina, whether you are simply chatting on the phone, whether you are thinking, like if you go and have a physical relationship with your wife or husband, and whilst that you're imagining and fantasizing about somebody else who is not in your nikah, then even that is haram. And may Allah protect us from whatever is haram. May Allah protect us from shirk. May Allah make us die in the state of iman, in the state of purity, in the best of states. May Allah bless our tongues and moisten our tongues by saying constant recitation of the first kalma and sending salutations to Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah keep us all in His mercy and care. Ameen. So Ameen. Wa akhirun dawan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.